Dear colleagues and students, greetings from Iran. I'm so glad to have this great chance to share my recent paper with you. My presentation is about Persian jokes on China and COVID-19, and I'm trying to suggest a sociological analysis about the jokes. First of all, for those of you who may not know my country exactly, I should say that Iran is located in the Middle East, between Afghanistan and Pakistan to the east, and Turkey and Iraq to the west. And Iran is home to one of the world's oldest civilizations. And about Iran and China relations, I should say that these two countries have had a history of cultural and political exchange dating back to ancient times. And during the medieval period, the two countries had extensive economic and cultural contacts through the Silk Road, which is you can see in blue in this map. Yet after the 1979 Islamic Revolution, China and Iran have developed a friendly economic and strategic partnership. In the past decades, the relationships between Iran and China have increased dramatically. Iran's political system, which is generally known for its strong anti-Western and anti-imperialism views, considers China as one of its most strong and trustworthy allies. Economically, Sino-Iranian relationship includes importation of Chinese cheap consumer goods, China's extensive investment in various sectors of Iran's economy, and providing Iran's industrial sectors with a large and growing quantity of capital goods, equipment, and technologies. In March 2021, the two countries signed a 25-year cooperation agreement that will strengthen the relationship between them. According to the Iran-China cooperation program, China is to invest $400 billion in Iran's economy over a 25-year period in exchange for a steady and heavily discounted supply of oil from Iran. While there is no previous research or survey on Iranians' public opinion about China, it seems that anti-China sentiment and attitudes have been increased among Iranians over the past years. For the majority of Iranians, especially young generations, China's political and economic presence in Iran means limited investment opportunities, the loss of Iranian market, and reduced job opportunities. In addition, the COVID-19 pandemic, in which the virus was first detected in Wuhan, has significantly increased negative views toward China. However, Iranians don't have enough opportunities or options to share their views and concerns about the country's political issues, and it is really because the current political atmosphere of the country. By contrast, they use humor as an easy, accessible, and safe tool for expressing their views and ideas. And as you may know, it is especially because the new social media offers ample opportunities for everyone to produce and disseminate any content, especially humorous content. In this paper, I will suggest humor in general and jokes in specific as effective mediums for expressing public attitudes, expectations, and reactions regarding political relations between Iran and China. And about my data and method, I should say that this research uses a qualitative approach. The corpus consists of 120 jokes on China and COVID-19. And I analyzed the jokes using the thematic analysis. Then I will discuss the implication of the jokes according to contemporary humor theories and the results. A thematic analysis of Persian China themed jokes reveals that the jokes contain three main themes. As you can see in this table, the main codes are China as the responsible for worldwide problems, Chinese eating habits, and self-deprecation. I will discuss the themes with more details in continue. Okay, the largest group of jokes in our collection deals with labeling and blaming China as the main cause of worldwide problems and difficulties. This is mainly due to the fact that COVID-19 virus was first detected in Wuhan. As a result, China is labeled and criticized as the creator of the virus in the jokes. Okay, here there is a very interesting meme, I can say. And as you can see in this picture, it is shown that China creates dangerous and deadly viruses and sprays them into the world. And this is the China services to the world. And this is another joke. Once a problem or disaster occurs in the world, we should smack China and the Chinese people. We may not know why we hit them, but they know why they are punished. Okay. Chinese eating habits. Since the very beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been much debate about the origins of the disease. Scientists do agree that COVID-19 is caused by a coronavirus from an animal, maybe, for example, from bats or another closely related mammal. Moreover, when COVID-19 was first identified in the late 2019, a video of a woman eating bat soap went viral. This sparked rumors that bat soap consumption in China caused the outbreak. It is a really false myth about the COVID-19 origin, but it has been repeatedly circulated around the internet, including Persian language social media. It also shapes the second theme of Persian jokes on China and COVID. For example, here are some jokes, some example of these jokes. In China, a disease doesn't go away. It is just transmitted from an animal to another and make our world to be destroyed. The only way to save our world is for all countries to make food for Chinese one by one every day. So the Chinese don't have to cook and eat such strange and unpleasant foods. And this is another joke. In China, people don't say, "Come on, your food is getting cold." They say, "Hey, come on, your food just escaped." The third theme of Persian jokes on China and COVID-19 is self-deprecation. This means that cultural traits of Iranians and Iran's political system are considered as the main butts of jokes. On the one hand, the jokes show how China controls the various sectors of Iran's economy. For example, you can see in this joke, while we have launched the No to Chinese Goods campaign, Chinese are preparing the necessary items for our half-seen table. Half-seen table is a kind of ceremony for Iranian New Year, and in this joke, it is said that even the very Iranian, for example, items or goods are produced by China. And this is another joke that is about the Iran-China 25-year cooperation program. And in this joke, this program is defined as a betrayal of Iran's national interest. It should be better to write on our banknotes that the authorities sold Iran and Iranians to China just for some money. The Iran-China cooperation program is a very important matter and issue for Iranians, and it is shown in the jokes that it have very negative consequences for Iranian social and economic life. For example, it is a very interesting meme that shows how the Iranian culture and Iran will change after this deal. In this meme, you can see that the flag of Iran will be changed after the Iran-China cooperation program, and the national emblem of Iran has changed from a Persian letter to a Chinese letter, and instead of the phrase Allahu Akbar, which means the God is great, it is written China the Great. Here and here, it is written the China the Great. So it is shown that after this deal, the China will be the most strong and powerful institution in Iran. And this is another picture. It shows that after the Iran and China 20-year cooperation program, there will be, instead of Iranian restaurants, there will be Chinese restaurants, and in the restaurants it will be served just, for example, bath soaps or other foods that are made of live or wild animals. And this is another joke. In an Iranian wedding ceremony, a marriage officiant asks the bride, "Do you marry the groom?" with a dowry of 50 face masks, a 4-liter ethanol bottle, and 2 COVID-19 diagnostic test kits. And the bride replies, "With the permission of the Chinese ambassador, yes." And this is this joke also show the power of and domination of China and Chinese ambassador in Iran. Okay. Another subgroup of Persian self-deprecating jokes criticize ignoring social distancing by Iranians. These jokes show that Iranians usually tend to travel to tourist destinations, especially in the northern parts of Iran. And they ignore social distancing in the post-corona era. For example, the question is, how do people from different countries react to the COVID-19 pandemic? Chinese people just use face masks. Canadians cry. Japanese screaming and are shocked. But Iranians laugh and say, "Let's go to the beach." And this is another joke about this sub thing. Coronaviruses in Iran send a message to coronaviruses in China and say, the poor viruses, you have been quarantined there, but we are traveling to the northern parts of Iran. In addition, the low quality of Iranian goods is ridiculous in the jokes. It has been reported that the Chinese bought several hundred thousand face masks from Iran. Just think about it. They will open the boxes and see that some of the masks have no elastic ear loops, some of them don't have filters, and some of them are useless. Moreover, a great deal of jokes include criticism over how Iran's government has handled the coronavirus outbreak. This joke suggests that Iran has handled the coronavirus outbreak very poorly. For example, this is a joke, an example of these jokes. Flights to China and from China to Tehran are still available. The government exports masks to China, and Iranians are just some carrots. It seems that they want to import COVID-19 viruses and export masks, then advise us to wash our hands. Well done. These jokes are accompanied with praising the Chinese government. And it is because the rapid economic growth in China, positive social change, and effective control of coronaviruses in China. Here we can see the positive attitudes of people towards China as the top economic power in the world. In addition, China is depicted and praised for its economic strengths and technological developments in comparison to Iran. Here are some examples of the jokes. For example, these jokes. My big concern is that China's technology will be developed in such a way that they will build a hospital and operate on several people while we are just trying to connect to the internet via anti-filtering softwares. In conclusion, I would say about political humor as a branch of humor that criticizes political concepts, powerful institutions, and politicians. In fact, subordinate individuals and groups use political humor as a useful means for cultural resistance against powerful and ruling classes. In fact, they can question a country's authorities and politicians. As Mariel points, critical thinking is one of the intellectual virtues fostered by humor. According to humor scholars and political scientists, political humor not only entertains and makes people laugh, but also informs them about political ideas, themes, or concepts, and familiarizes them with news and political events. Another function of political humor is to create meaning for major political events and offering interpretations for international relations. The analysis of Persian jokes on China and COVID-19 shows that these jokes are advantageous means for Iranians to signify their beliefs, concerns, and reactions about the country's political system. Although Persian China themed jokes initially label and criticize China as the creator of the coronavirus, their main targets is Iran's political system, politicians, and officials. In this joke, it is shown that the Iranian political regime is mainly to blame for China's economic and political domination over the country, not China. In brief, China-themed jokes convey the anger and dissatisfaction of the Iranian people with the ruling regime and the strong criticism against the political status quo. At the same time, jokes act as a coping mechanism and a useful technique for dealing with the horror and fear that is caused by COVID-19 and possibly future pandemics. Okay, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much for your attention and time, and I will be really glad if you would possibly share your feedbacks about my presentation with me. In addition, if you have any question or, for example, comment or any problem about Iranian culture, or the Middle East countries, I would be really happy to speak and talk with you. Hope to hearing from as many as you, and have a very good time. Thank you again.